Hello, I'm David Marler from Rotterdam, UAS, and today I'm going to give you a small introduction to the modular literature courses that we're offering next year. In this info session, we're going to look at what modular literature is, how you can make your choices, what the course rules are, what the test is going to look like, and what's going to happen next. So, let's start with the question, what is modular literature? Instead of a one-block course that we usually have with one work per class, starting next school year, students are going to be able to choose between books that they are interested in for their Literature 3.2 and Literature 1.2 requirements. Each course will consist of 3 one-hour lessons spread over 3 weeks. Each of these books is going to be called a module. This will give the student time to read the books at a slower pace, and it will also allow us to tackle the text more in depth. So the question that you now have is how you can make your choice. Next year, we're going to have 40 plus different modules, so 40 plus different books that you can choose from. But there are a few rules that you have to consider when making your choice. The first one is that first-year students will have to take 4 young adult literature modules and 1 contemporary literature module. But for you, third-year students, you have to take 3 contemporary literature modules, 2 canonical literature modules, and 1 YAL module. Students may start their third-year modules in year 2. For more information about that, second-year students will get an email at the beginning of the school year. So the first thing that you have to consider when making your modules is you're going to have to follow it step by step. In a bit, you're going to be receiving an email with instructions on how to sign up for the literature modules. The first thing that you want to do is look at the dates. All of the classes are going to be on a Thursday. There are going to be 2 sessions per class. So there will be session 1, which will most likely be in the morning, and there will be session 2, which is going to be in the afternoon. Now, an important thing to remember is that if you plan on taking HR Keuzevakken, then you cannot take them and follow a literature module at the same time. For most English students, this is not a problem because they take the English Keuzevakken, which are on a different day. Those are still going to be on Friday. Now, the third step is that you have to remember that you have 3 contemporary novels, 2 canonical novels, and 1 young adult novel. Once you look at the list, you have to look at the titles and click on the links to Goodreads. Each of these links on the title of the novel will show you a synopsis of what the book is about and how other people have rated it. It's a good thing to look at so that you can consider if the book that you're about to read is something that you're interested in. Then what you're going to do is if you find a book that you're interested in and the date works for you, then in the right-hand column you're going to see a link that says click to sign up here. You click on that link and it's going to take you to a Microsoft form that will allow you to sign up. Now, you will not have to put in your name or email because you have to use your HR account in order to sign up. So if you are somehow logged in with your school account using a school computer, it's really important that you sign out of your school Microsoft account so that you can re-sign in with your HR account. Now, once you've signed up for your 6 modules for year 3, at the end of July, you're going to get an email that confirms your spot. However, if more than 30 students sign up for a literature module, if it's extremely popular, then there's a chance that we will only offer the spots to the first 30 students. This means that you could get an email that says that you have not been guaranteed a spot and that you have to sign up for another module. You then have to go back to the list and you can make a choice based upon that. Now, remember when you're signing up that you can take 2 modules during the same week, but you can only do that if it's in time slot 1 and time slot 2. So if you see 2 books that you really want to take, but both of them are in, let's say, week 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, both in time slot 1, then you can't take both of those books because they'll be given at the same time. You can, however, at the same time take a book in the morning and a book in the afternoon. That's, of course, for people that are avid readers and can read a lot. Then the last step that you're going to do is in the email, there will also be a Word document. You're going to fill this Word document in. It's going to show exactly which 6 books you're going to follow and which ones you're going to use for contemporary literature, for canonical literature, and for young adult literature. And remember, on the list, you're going to see that certain books can count for 2 or sometimes even 3 genres at one time. You have to then make a choice whether you're going to do it as a young adult book or a contemporary book, or a young adult book and a canonical book. Now, as I said, some novels are going to have more than one genre. You can choose which ones you use, but the most important rule is that in order to take the exam, you have to take and complete 6 modules. But there are some things that you should consider when choosing your modules. First one is, of course, how fast can you read? So students who can read fast can take 2 modules at the same time. However, if you're a slower reader, then you may want to space out your courses throughout the year. Remember, you get to plan in when you take these courses. Now, another thing that you should look at is what books interest you. When going on Goodreads, try to see the types of books that you have, how long the books are, and also how interesting you think that the books will be. This system gives you the power to choose what you like and what you're interested in, because we want you to enjoy literature as much as possible. Now, another thing that I would recommend is definitely to explore new genres. For this new modular literature system, we have chosen a variety of books that cover different topics. We have comic books, graphic novels, teen literature, black literature, queer literature, feminist literature, classic literature, and plays. So, when looking at the different types of books that you can take, try to experiment and try new things that seem cool and different. It will allow you to access and experience new forms of literature. And another point that I would like to make is it's really not good to make group decisions. This should really be a personal decision that you make based on the books that you like. So choose books that interest you, not the books that your friends are interested in because you want to take it as a group. Now, what I'm going to be covering right now is the course rules. Like every course, there are going to be course rules, and for this one, it's quite simple. The first part is that you're going to have to follow an online mandatory writing course. This course will teach you exactly how to prepare for the essay, exactly how to compare and contrast the 2 works, and the exact parts of, for instance, a body paragraph, an introduction, and a conclusion. It's important that you take this online course, and if you don't complete it, then you won't be able to sit the exam. You will, however, be able to choose when you take this course, and there will be several assignments. It will be an online Brightspace course. You can find the link next year when Brightspace starts. Now, this course also is going to have an attendance requirement. As a student, you're allowed to miss 1 of the 3 sessions of each module. So a module has 3 sessions, you can miss 1. If you miss more than 1, the module will no longer count. And that means that you will, in the middle of the year, have to choose a new module. It's also important to remember that you have to have your homework and your reading completed for this course. If you come to class unprepared, so you haven't read or you haven't done the mandatory homework, then that will count as an absence. So it is extremely important that you come prepared and that you attend all of the classes. Now what I'm going to cover is what the test will look like. The exam is going to be taking place in Block 4, and you're going to complete a written exam in ANS. For this exam, you're going to choose 1 of 3 questions. Your exam will be based on 2 of the 6 works you've read. It's going to be in essay form, and you will be taught more about how to prepare for that on the Brightspace writing course. So a question for next year that you could possibly see. So this would be 1 of the 3 questions, and you would only choose 1 of the 3. But one of them could be, in what ways do 2 works explore the conflict between individual desires and societal expectations? Analyze how the tension between personal freedom and conformity is portrayed and how it influences character development and thematic meaning. So for this essay question, it's quite simple. You look at 2 works and you think, what 2 works show a character who has individual desires to be one way but is forced by society to do something else? You will compare and contrast how that works in 2 works, and you will write a 5-paragraph essay on it. So, now that you've learned exactly what the test looks like and how you can sign up for the course, what we're going to look at now is what's going to happen next. Starting today, you can sign up for the literature modules. Your teacher will now forward the email. In this email, you can see exactly the works that you can choose and how you can sign up for them. In a few weeks, you will get a confirmation of your spot in the courses. For third-year students, because you're choosing first, this should go quite easily. A week before class starts, your module teacher will place the reading schedule on Brightspace. Remember, on the first class, you will be expected to have read at least 1/3 of the book. So make sure that you check it beforehand so that you can start reading as soon as possible. If you have any questions right now, you can ask your teacher, or you can email me at d.g.marler@hr.no. Thank you very much.